Okay, so once the materials are unloaded from the car, and unloaded carts, they're brought into the facility. So this is the area where the material is actually characterized. It goes, okay, it's flammable, it's paint, it's rat poison, whatever it is. So this is where they kind of consolidate the materials into the appropriate categories. So this is really, again, part of the staging, transition, and characterization of the actual materials. Okay? So we have a lot of emergency supplies in that area there. Once we characterize it, we move it into storage. Again, this is another transition area. Okay? So you'll notice three different storage areas. This specific storage area is for flammables. And we have, if you want to step over here, and it's labeled, so you see corrosive on one side, toxic paint, and oxidizers. Okay. What's really important is that certain waste types have to be kept separate because they may react with each other. And so we have three basic separations to make sure that whatever is stored together is compatible. And everybody are familiar with laptop computers, but the batteries in your laptop, the lithium batteries, are very reactive. They react with water. And so we actually have a specific cabinet for the storage of lithium batteries. Okay. This is a scale. So this is one of the most unique features of this facility. If you come and take a look, you see the grate, and look down. See how deep that is? That's about 3.5 feet down. See that? We call this secondary containment. By law, this is what we store our hazardous materials in. We have to plan in an emergency, if the whole drum, if all these drums leak, that the material is actually contained and doesn't go off-site. But every facility that's built in this country, the containment is only about 6 inches because you only worry about what's in the barrel. But what has happened is that there's been emergencies where there's been fires, and you see the sprinklers. We actually had to work with the fire department to calculate how much water or how much fire retardant that has to be put on, because if it's only 6 inches, you have all this water, it's just going to go everywhere. Totally designed to contain all the water it would take to put it out many times over. And if you notice the concrete here, it's actually painted with epoxy. So this is actually totally impervious. Okay, so this is part of the largest secondary containment that you'll see. And also these grates are rated for over 10,000 pounds. You can drive a forklift on this. This is, like I said, for flammables. So this is the largest. We expect the most of this type of material. So this is, of course, the largest storage. Okay, and you see multiple roll-up doors. So we've made the operations kind of like a flow-through, and so that we minimize backing up within our working areas. This is all designed for safety. Okay. Then if we go to this area over here, so this is the office, the administrative and management of the center. And you can see the one-way window into we're going to go there next, that's the reuse center. So that's where people can bring in stuff that they haven't finished or they haven't even opened, and it's free to other people that don't want to buy this. This is actually a very, very useful part of this program, because everything that can be reused doesn't have to be treated or disposed. So it represents a huge cost savings for household hazardous waste operations. So and this was one of the single most important recommendations that we found when we studied all the other facilities, is make that as pretty much one of the most useful things for these facilities. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go out, and we're going to go into the, so you can take a look at the reuse center here. So you can take a look inside, and you see those supplies are for anybody to utilize. So we're going to walk through this building into the loading areas, and then we can walk around the back. This is where the trucks come and back up, and where the material is actually loaded. And we built a kind of a permanent loading dock here because we plan to have a truck here pretty much at all times. One of the things that makes for cost efficiency is to make sure that the truck is actually full all the way before it leaves. So we don't just schedule transportation on a weekly basis, whatever. We actually schedule only for the truck to leave when it's full, so it cuts the cost down for the city. Okay? And you can see that this entire area, you can see the difference between this type of decking and over here, and because this is the impervious epoxy paint that's on here. Okay? So please be careful of the scale here, and we'll walk around the back. One of the features of this facility is it has a really good queuing for the waiting line to get into the facility. So it actually comes in at this gate here, and you have all this queuing all the way around. So, and this is important because we don't want people waiting to unload in the streets, so we designed this queuing. This is also called left-hand drive, and this is an engineering design feature where you actually, the driver in the U.S. is on the left-hand side of the car. So as you're driving in, this makes for the most efficient and the safest, what we call routing for unloading. So as we say, we call this the left-hand loop for our solid waste facilities. So we have some employee parking here. This is our trash and recycling enclosure. And we can go back, and cars would approach this way to the unloading. This is where we started.